Hello there, Internet! Happy New Year's, everyone! It has been quite the year. We have gotten so much done, despite the fact that 2017 was such a crap hole. But 2018 looked real promising, am I right? Oh, I know it's only August, but July was pretty much the worst month of my life, so I thought we could just kind of wrap things up now. After all, this year feels like it's been 4, so... no go? Worth a shot. Back to work, I guess. Welcome to the first new critique video, everyone. If you missed my video update, I'll give you a quick rundown on how these things are going to work from now on. I'll be focusing on 2 to 3 people per episode, 2 images a piece as usual. These will be a lot briefer than my other videos, but since I'll be scripting everything out from now on, it'll be a lot more concentrated. If you would like to be added to the lineup for a future video, go ahead and send a note to the weekly art tips group asking to be added to the list. Since the new list has just been opened, there's going to be a lot of free spaces, so if you're interested, now is a great time. When sending your note, please don't attach any images or links. I'll notify you a week or so before I record your episode, and you can send me your choices then. If I don't end up hearing from you within 3 days, you won't be dropped, but you will be moved back a video until I hear from you. I'll periodically close the list if it gets too full, just so that nobody ends up waiting too long to be featured, and hopefully this new format will allow more people to be featured with less wait time. Please note that these critique videos aren't going to be as frequent as my old videos were, so maybe if there's enough demand, we'll end up having like a live stream night where I can just do a whole bunch in one go. That way it doesn't end up taking up so much time. Let me know if you'd be interested. We have 2 artists for this first video, so without further ado, let's talk about Martith. First off, thank you so much for your patience. You were one of the last artists in my old list that I couldn't get to before life got in the way, and I really feel so bad about making you wait this long. I hope you like your critique. So, on to the images. So the first image is Nap in brackets Quick Paint. Let me just say, I'm not even sure I'm qualified to talk about this. It's just so good. Also, 1 hour? That is amazing. I love the lighting and brushwork you used on this, especially the highlights on the mouth and forehead. The way everything blends together is very harmonious, and your color use is expertly done as well. I like how most of the image uses muted and desaturated colors while maintaining a warm glow. In fact, the most color in this image is right here on the nose, which really helps it pop out. I also enjoy the very soft nature of the image, with only a few spots of crisp detail, like on the nose and whiskers. The added effect of dust particles really give an ethereal and relaxing look. If I had any suggestions for this piece, it would maybe be adjusting this ear back here. The other ear has a lot more of a fuzzy look, as well as a bit of a white tuft inside, where this one looks a little less fluffy in comparison. Also, the angle seems to look like the tip of the ear is closer to the viewer than the base. This is because the lighter part of the ear has a much crisper silhouette than the darker part. Pushing the top of the ear back a bit would help with perspective. Honestly, that is just such a nitpick though. I think it looks really great right now, and it's a very successful piece. Next is Commission number 31, It's a Kind of Magic. I really love the atmosphere in this piece. The lighting and glow effects are very successful and bring a lot of character into this piece. The background and the plant life have a good amount of care put into them, and I must say that the hanging plants just have a perfect balance of detail in the brushwork. The little fox-like character is very cute, and the way that the lighting bounces off of the fur is quite successful as well. Probably my favorite part is right here where the highlight of the white fur reflects the glow of the pendant. One thing that I feel is less successful in this piece is the anatomy of the legs. From this angle, the proportion seems a bit off, and when connecting to the full body, it seems a bit thinner than it should. I would suggest changing the angle of the legs so that they read a bit better. Everything else is really stunning, and the last second mention I want to make is the tail over in the corner looks like the softest thing in the world. I want to pet your art so badly. Excellent work, and I'm looking forward to what you do next. Our second artist for today is PostMortemPixie. Again, thank you so much for your patience. Our first image is Syll Soma. Sorry if I've mispronounced anything in this video. According to the description, they are a deity of duality, time, the sun, and the moon. This is a very interesting concept, and I really enjoy the composition as it helps get across the idea. First, I want to say that I really like the idea of the two-toned skin. To me, it reads that the characters have vitiligo, which is something you really don't see represented in art very much. I think that the character design itself is also really nice and simplistic. It reads easily, and the pure black color patches blending into the line work is very striking. I also like the white lines added to the hair, giving it more shape and volume. I feel like some of the lines could be cleaned up a bit, like on the wrists and the neck. Also, where this one hair strand falls on both of the faces, it ends up creating a point of tension with the line of the eye patch. I would recommend moving one of them to avoid that. I really like the small differences between the character models, like the eyes, which look a lot like the sun and the moon respectively, as well as them having the opposite symbol on their shirts. I think that it adds a lot to the duality aspect. I also like that the shirts themselves are reflective of what type of clothing you would wear during the day versus the nighttime. Color-wise, I think that the clothing colors work very well for their themes and everything matches nicely. The second piece we'll look at is Veronica, so let's read the description. I'm thinking about making a webcomic because I'm dead inside, same, as a sort of side thing. Yeah, so it's like a mixture between Greek, Christian, and Norse mythology. Veronica accidentally summons Hades and they both want to die. Nice. So I'm a mythology nut, so you've already sold me on this. Looking at the image composition, I really like the use of a simple blue circle as the background. I think it works really nicely, especially with the character and the description slightly offset. I would suggest making the bio a slightly different color, as it's hard to read when it leaves the circle. When it comes to the character herself, I really like your use of stylization. The hourglass shape of her body and emphasis on her limbs really work well. I'm especially fond of the stylization of her forearms. I would recommend defining her fingers a bit more because they seem like they would be a bit too short. The shapes you use for her face and head are appealing, and I especially enjoy the strong shape of her nose. Her outfit is really casual with a slight nod to being girly with the butterfly hair clips and shirt. The wide hems of her sweater and ripped knees also make it look like a really comfy and low-maintenance look, which I think fits well for a character who might be suffering from depression. Color-wise, I like the grayish skin tone you used for her. It matches well with the theme, and the added blush keeps her from looking too corpse-like. I like that you added them to her knees and arms as well, though I would recommend not keeping the red on her fingers, which looks a little too much like she has blood on them. I really like the scribble look for her blush and eyes. It also adds a lot of character. The only color that really sticks out to me as distracting would be the blue on her hair. I feel it works with her eyes, but having such a large patch of it becomes a bit distracting. I would recommend changing the saturation so that it meshes better with the other colors. Finally, I want to say that I like the added bust on the side. It gives a good reference for what she would look like from a different angle, though the butterfly pattern in her eyes is really hard to read at a glance. I would try maybe making them another color or widening the lines a bit. It would also be interesting to see how her two tones of hair look from behind. All in all, a really strong character. So that was Martith and PostMortemPixie. Thank you so much for sending in work. Please everyone go check them out and send some love their way. I'll see you all soon. Until then, bye! You can't see, but I'm waving.